Hey everybody, Cokeman 250 here, and it's been a while since we had a pep talk, and I've been feeling encouraged lately, so I'm going to pass it along. And I've also had something on my mind, and it's rich or poor, there's two things that got to happen, whether you're rich or whether you're poor. Stay tuned to see what it is. Hey everybody, I'm Cokeman 250, and this is Positively Prepared. Why don't you come with me on my preparedness journey? Maybe we can learn something together. Let's do this. Glad you stuck around. Alright, so rich or poor, two things gotta happen. One, you gotta eat. No matter how rich or how poor you are, you gotta eat, and you gotta find a way to eat. Now, yeah, I know rich people may be able to eat more, or may be able to eat better quality, but you still gotta eat. But here's the deal, the catch to that, catch 22 is, what happens when there's a food shortage? No matter how much money you got, if food is at a premium and that's what everybody's looking for, supply and demand, it may affect the price, and there may be, for a little bit, rich people may be able to eat for a very, very expensive price, which will transfer the wealth from the rich to possibly even a poor man who prepared. The transfer of wealth. But that's going to be early on in a food shortage. What about when people aren't feeling so secure about what they got left in their preps? Or they're not feeling so secure in how much they got in their garden that they're putting up, or how good their harvest is this year. There may not be any amount of money that can buy you food. There may not be. Poor man. Poor man's got to eat. Poor man's even a little bit more in a fragile situation than a rich man at first, because the poor man's not going to have that large amount of money to transfer his wealth to somebody else for their food. So whenever I get the comment, I can't afford to prepare, yeah, you can. Put back a little bit here and a little bit there. Start growing a garden. You know, you can get 5-gallon buckets for free. Go rustle you up some dirt somewhere. Seeds cost you, you know, they're a little higher now, $1 a pack or so, but surely you can get in connection with somebody who has seeds who will either give you some or split a pack with you, 50 cents. It's possible. You just got to have the want to. And there's a lot of things in life, and people are losing their want to. And I see it every day. I see it every day. People are losing their want to. And, you know, I don't want to go outside and garden. It's too hot. I don't want to put food up because I could, you know, instead of spending that large amount of money, I could buy a bigger TV. Tell me how that TV tastes one day. It's not going to have a lot of nourishment in it. Not a lot of caloric intake in a TV. Okay? Talked about food. Number one, gotta eat, rich or poor. Number two, rich or poor, you gotta die. That's right. It's coming for us all. Whether you want to admit it or not, whether you want to talk about it or not, whether it's something you don't even like thinking about, it ain't going to make it go away. Whether you're rich or whether you're poor, one day you're going to die. And just like you can prepare to be able to eat, no matter what circumstance comes along, you can prepare for eternity. That's right. There's a lot of stuff out there, and there's a lot of ways people say it, but I'm going to tell you, we're all going to die. And if I'm wrong, and there is no heaven, there is no hell, I have hope right now, and I'm happy. I don't understand how you can live without hope. I know it's done all the time. But it's my earnest prayer that you think long and hard about your eternity after death. Grow a relationship with God now and reap the awesomeness that comes out of it. And no, it's a hard life, living the Christian life. It's hard. But I can't imagine people who don't walk with God, how hard their life really is. My life is hard enough, and I have the Creator of all watching my back, walking hand in hand with me. Steps ahead of me, of course. He's not walking side by side with me. He's a couple of steps ahead, holding my hand, leading me. You got to let Him lead you. But it's been on my mind a lot lately. But I encourage you. I encourage you to put something back for a rainy day, and I encourage you to examine your soul. Examine what's after death. Do I know what's going to happen to me when I die? Because knowing what happens to you when you die, and when you know what's going to happen to you, oh, it's beautiful. And it's awesome. Rich or poor, it's got to happen. But I'm going to tack on to the end of this also a little bit of encouragement on complainers. I'm around a lot of complainers. You know, and I know when you work a job, you're either going to be the complainer or you're going to be around some complainers. And you can't let yourself fall into that group of complainers. And if you hang around that group of complainers too much, you'll start complaining yourself. Think about this. In this whole big world we live in, complain to somebody about how your food's cooked who lives in a third world country. You know how when you go out to a restaurant and you eat, and I know you expect a lot for your money. You know, that's hard-earned money. And when you go out and eat at a restaurant like us, it's not very often. But when it happens, you expect to get good treatment, good service, the whole 9 yards, because it's your hard-earned dollar. But stop and think. If your waitress ain't doing a good job, what's going on with her? Maybe one of her parents just passed away. Maybe her husband died early, unexpectedly. Maybe she just had a miscarriage. And if your food's not cooked so much, to your likings, think about the cook. Is this maybe a second job he's been to because he got a couple of kids? At least he's trying, okay? Yeah, I understand there's a lot of people out there that ain't got no want to anymore. But I'm not the man to judge. You can tell want to by seeing somebody. But is it want to? Or is there something lying deeper that's going on? We need to keep that in our thoughts. We need to treat people the way we expect to be treated. When we're having a bad day, which we all have, and when we're down and sad and hurting and sick and just plumb wore out tired, maybe your smile ain't what it should be, but you should try. But you would also you don't want somebody who's going to be complaining and just making it worse. So I try to think about what's going on in that person's life. But complain about how your steak's cooked to a guy in a third world country, and he's going to look at you, and he's probably going to punch you in the mouth because he's saying, looks good to me. My rice is great. Or this dirty water they're drinking. Or this hut they live in. I've seen a thread on Facebook, and if anybody's familiar with Facebook, you'll know about groups. I'm a member of several groups, swap and trade groups and stuff like that, barter groups. Well, there's a group on there, and this woman had posted a comment about she had called the police 3 times on these people's dogs on how they were being treated. And she took 3 pictures of these people's dogs in their pen. It was a chain link pen. There was a tarp over one end. They had a big old bucket of water out there. And this lady is calling the cops on these people. First of all, mind your own business, people. Mind your own business. Okay? I understand if a dog's being mistreated, but there's a difference in being mistreated and not up to your standards. My standards for how I take care of my dog doesn't have to meet your standards on how you would take care of your dog. Yeah, there's right and wrong on how to treat animals, but this lady had called the cops 3 times using taxpayer money to go out and talk to these people about a dog. Now, if the dogs are still in their possession, the police are not finding anything in there that's wrong there. Or there's nothing that can be done because, I mean, it's not a problem. I would rather that taxpayer money with the police be used to fix the drug problems in the country that's running rampant. It's a disease. It's an infectious disease that's eating away at people. Drugs. But, you know, it went on to say, you know, the dogs look like there's nothing wrong. And they probably live in a place, their shelter is better than a large majority of the world. Large majority of the world doesn't have it like Americans. And as Americans, we become babies, we become complainers, we become incomplacent in our pampered lifestyles. From the poorest American to the third world country guy, the poorest man in America is a rich beyond all expectations of a man in a third world country. Just remember that when you go to complain at something again. Don't complain. Complaining brings yourself down and the ones around you. Be encouraging. Be positive. Build people up. I know you can prepare. You can do a little bit at a time, and you can get it done. I know you can be happy. Hold your head up. No matter what circumstance you're going through, it's not big enough that God can't take care of it for you. If you think there's a problem that you're having that God's never took care of, then you're crazy. Because God's dealt with every problem there is known to man since the beginning of time. I love you guys. I love my subs. Very encouraging. A lot of great friendships made. I will start doing some videos. I'm not good at commenting lately. I got a lot on my plate, but know that I'm reading the comments. I read every single comment. But somebody left a comment on my chicken video, the last video, and it said something about let me know in a couple months about the freezer burn because of those Ziploc bags. And I will. I'll do a video for you. Because, you know, I don't know if I can eat them fast enough for their freezer burn, but I have hope. And I'm being positive that I can. Because if I can do that, that means I've been eating healthy for quite a while. And I'm on day 3 of eating healthy. And I'm feeling good. So, you guys, be an encouragement to the ones around you. Don't complain. And think about what people's going through around you. This is Cokeman 250 from the land of the free and the home of the brave. God bless everybody. And remember, prep smarter, pray harder.